In 1973, a film about con men pulled off the greatest trick of all. It fooled audiences into loving it. The Sting boasted Paul Newman and Robert Redford in top form, a twisty plot, and a soundtrack that resurrected ragtime from near oblivion. It wasn't just a box office hit. It became a phenomenon, sweeping the Oscars and enchanting viewers for generations. Today, we're uncovering 20 astonishing facts about the Sting, and some might surprise you as much as the final reveal. Number 1. A Christmas Con. The Sting opened on Christmas Day, 1973, an unusual slot for a movie about cons and double crosses. December releases were usually reserved for prestige dramas or family films, but Universal gambled that Newman and Redford's clever crime caper would stand out among the holiday crowd. And the gamble paid off. Audiences were craving something classy yet playful, and the Sting delivered. Its Christmas debut gave it instant buzz heading into awards season and secured its place in the spotlight. Number 2. Chicago Shuffle. Though filmed in the 1970s, the Sting transports viewers back to Depression-era America in 1936. The story begins in Joliet before moving to Chicago, a city of both opportunity and danger. In that era, con men thrived, preying on desperation with quick promises and slick tricks. Authentic touches like vintage cars, period costumes, and Chicago's seedy gambling underworld make the backdrop feel alive, plunging viewers into a world where survival often depended on wit over strength. Number 3. The dynamic duo. One of the film's greatest strengths is its casting. Robert Redford as Johnny Hooker and Paul Newman as Henry Gondorff reunited after their hit Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, 1969, once again under director George Roy Hill. This time, their chemistry was even stronger. On screen, they banter with effortless mischief, like two friends sharing an inside joke throughout the film. Their dynamic turned the Sting into more than just a con movie. It became a buddy classic with irresistible charm. Number 4. Inspiration or controversy. Screenwriter David S. Ward crafted the Sting after diving into real stories of swindlers. He was especially influenced by David Maurer's book The Big Con, The Story of the Confidence Man, which detailed the language and tricks of Depression-era grifters. That research gave the film its authentic slang and convincing scams. The overlap with Maurer's work eventually led to a lawsuit, though it was resolved out of court without derailing the film's success. Whether coincidence or inspiration, Ward's clever structure and memorable characters ensured the Sting stood on its own. Number 5. Reviving old tunes. One of the Sting's most lasting contributions is its music. Composer Marvin Hamlish adapted the ragtime works of Scott Joplin, who had died decades earlier and was mostly forgotten by mainstream audiences. Before long, tunes like The Entertainer filled radios, living rooms, and even piano lesson books. Joplin's bouncy rhythms perfectly underscored the movie's sly tone, contrasting its gritty setting with playful elegance. The soundtrack not only won awards, but also revived worldwide interest in ragtime. It's rare for a film to restore a dead genre to cultural relevance, but the Sting pulled it off beautifully. Number 6. The Big Sweep. As expected, the awards season was a landslide. The Sting received 10 Academy Award nominations and won 7. These included Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Original Screenplay. Editing, art direction, and costume design were also recognized. For a film that mixed lighthearted entertainment with slick craftsmanship, the sweep was remarkable. Hollywood tends to reward serious dramas, yet here was a caper film charming its way to the top prize. Number 7. Head's Last Hurrah. The legendary costume designer Edith Head won her 8th and final Oscar for The Sting. Head was already Hollywood royalty, having dressed stars from Grace Kelly to Audrey Hepburn. This film presented her with a unique challenge of recreating the fashion of the Depression era, while still flattering contemporary icons like Newman and Redford. She delivered immaculate pinstripe suits, suspenders, and tilted fedoras that radiated coolness yet felt authentic to the 1930s. Her costumes became central to the film's identity and helped define the swagger and sophistication of con men. Winning her final Academy Award here was a fitting capstone to her storied career. Number 8. Time traveling to the 1930s. The Sting may feel like a movie made in the 1930s, and that's because director George Roy Hill used intertitle cards to divide the film into chapters. This was a deliberate nod to silent-era storytelling. Illustrator Jaroslav Gaber created these nostalgic plates, which looked like vintage woodcuts. The film also employed old-fashioned wipes, fades, and iris shots to enhance that period atmosphere. These choices weren't just aesthetic. They helped disguise its modern perspective and made the con feel timeless. By blending 1970s polish with 1930s visual language, Hill crafted something both fresh and nostalgic. Number 9. Time for the numbers to roll in. With a modest budget of around $5.5 million, The Sting grossed an estimated $156 million domestically, while worldwide totals vary. If we adjust for inflation, that equals over $1 billion today. The scale of its success shocked Hollywood because the film wasn't driven by action or spectacle, but purely by charm, clever writing, and star power. The profits proved that audiences can't get enough of stylish storytelling. Universal not only recouped its investment many times over, but also gained a template for prestige blockbusters. Number 10. Robert Shaw's injury as the unpaid actor. Robert Shaw, who played the intimidating mobster Doyle Lonnegan, delivered menace with every glare and clipped line. What many don't know is that Shaw had injured his knee and wore a leg brace throughout production. His limited movement was cleverly disguised by camera angles, and the wardrobe department worked overtime to hide the brace beneath wide-cut trousers. Strangely, the injury worked to Shaw's advantage. His stiff posture and deliberate movements enhanced the sense of cold authority in his character. What could have been a setback instead added to the menace. Number 11. Conning the audience. The movie itself is structured like a con, tricking not just its characters but also the audience. Viewers are led to believe certain FBI agents are genuine, and that the Sting operation collapses in chaos. Only at the climax is the truth revealed, and the audience realizes they were part of the deception all along. This narrative sleight of hand was revolutionary, creating satisfaction rather than confusion. It left viewers delighted to have been fooled so cleverly. Number 12. Real-life settings. Although much of The Sting was filmed on Universal's backlot, real locations were used to enhance authenticity. Chicago's Union Station and LaSalle Street Station appear prominently, grounding the story in its Midwestern setting. Additional filming took place in Santa Monica and West Virginia. As for the cars, co-producer Tony Bill even supplied his own 1935 Pierce Arrow limousine for Doyle Lonnegan's vehicle. These touches transported audiences into 1930s America and made the elaborate con feel all the more believable. Number 13. Happy accidents. Some of the Sting's best moments were unplanned. In one scene, Charles Durning as Lieutenant Snyder spills a drink onto Eileen Brennan's hand. Her startled reaction was completely unscripted, but George Roy Hill kept it in the film. He believed these accidents added a layer of naturalism. Even in a story about deception and precision, spontaneous moments gave it authenticity that no script could replicate. Number 14. The Wire Trick. The film's centerpiece scam, known as The Wire, was inspired by real-life confidence tricks from the early 20th century. Con artists would set up elaborate fake betting parlors with telegraph operators and phony racing results. David Morers documented such schemes, and The Sting wove them into its plot. The result fascinated audiences, who got a thrilling look at how the mechanics of the con worked. Number 15. Old Hollywood flair. George Roy Hill wanted The Sting to feel like a relic of the 1930s. To achieve this, he deliberately used wipes, iris shots, and fades, visual devices common in old Hollywood but rare in the 1970s. Combined with Jaroslav Geber's illustrated title cards, these touches gave the film a nostalgic atmosphere. Viewers weren't just watching a con story, they were watching a 1930s movie reborn for a new generation. Number 16. The Sting as a Broadway musical. Decades after its release, The Sting's story proved irresistible once again. In 2018, it was adapted into a Broadway musical starring Harry Connick Jr. as Gondorf. Ragtime music returned to the spotlight with lively stage numbers, giving the tale a theatrical twist. Though reviews were mixed, The production was proof of just how enduring and adaptable this classic story remains. Number 17. Reshooting for the perfect con. George Roy Hill wasn't happy with the film's tone after its first week of shooting. Believing it didn't match his vision, he made the bold decision to reshoot. Risky as it was, the choice paid off. Resetting the rhythm early ensured the film carried the seamless charm that audiences around the world fell in love with. Number 18. The Hand Behind Newman. One of Paul Newman's most charming scenes shows him shuffling and dealing cards with expert precision. But here's the secret. Newman couldn't actually perform the tricks. Instead, professional card shark John Scarn acted as his hand double. The camera captured Scarn's flawless sleight of hand while Newman brought the charisma. It was pure movie magic, and audiences never knew the difference. Number 19. From slob to slick. Believe it or not, Henry Gondorff wasn't always written as the sharp, magnetic con man we see on screen. In the earliest drafts, he was portrayed as a washed-up, overweight slob. Once Paul Newman was cast, the role was reshaped into the suave, clever partner that audiences adored. What started as a throwaway character became cinematic gold. Number 20. Registry Gold. In 2005, The Sting was added to the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress, honored as culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. Its influence has echoed through modern cinema, inspiring heist films and TV shows that borrow its structure of twists and reveals. More than just entertainment, it remains a benchmark of craftsmanship. Just like a perfectly executed con, this masterpiece leaves you smiling and wondering long after you've left the cinema. Movies like this remind us why we fell in love with the silver screen in the first place. If you felt that spark too, hit subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep wandering through Hollywood's most unforgettable tales together.